Hello, how are you? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sami Kamau, and this is Real Life Abroad. And today, I'm so much honored, guys, to have a guest all the way from Canada, from two different continents, representing 254, and from Canada and Australia. So, guys, you're gonna have much to watch on this channel today, and you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna know much about how you can migrate to Canada. I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. I hope you're gonna, get something and learn everything about real life abroad that I've been talking about. So, guys, without further much ado, allow me to introduce my guest all the way from Canada, Joyce Karibu.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much for having you, Joyce, here. It's such an honor. I've been watching you, I've been following you, I've been watching your content and seeing that you are emphasizing and telling people how they can be able to migrate or switch from different countries. It's been amazing, and it's been an honor to have you, so you can be able to explain and tell my people the same, because that's what I'm also telling people. I'm telling people they don't have to be stuck in one place. If they have a mind or ambition that they can do something else in different countries, then this is their channel to choose, so they can be able to learn more about how they can migrate and be able to maneuver from different countries. So without further much ado, come in, and we thank you so much. Welcome to this channel. Tell us about yourself, Joy, so we can get to know you more.
Thank you so much, Sam. I know you right now you're by Real Life Abroad. That is now your official name for YouTube. I appreciate a lot for this opportunity to come here. It's an honor, even for someone like you to have me here. I appreciate a lot. I always like when I get an opportunity to open myself to the world and tell them that there are so many opportunities in Canada. Canada looks like it's in somewhere hidden that people don't know much about Canada. People only know that Canada is cold, but they don't know how they can come to Canada. So after I had helped so many people to come to Canada, then I got this desire. I said, I think I can be able to reach a bigger group when I go into YouTube. So that is how I started Joyce K Nurse Canada on YouTube. At the moment, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Twitter, I'm only on YouTube. But because my main focus was just to try and pass this message. But maybe with time, I'll try to diversify. But for now, I only have YouTube channel where you can find, I upload a video daily, because Canada has got over 80 programs and they keep changing. So all the time we have got news for immigration. So you have to keep yourself updated. You have to run with news. And I keep posting every news that come up for Canada. Yeah. So today I'm here, guys, to just enlighten you more on that. I know Sam is going to direct me, which way to follow.
Wow. Such an amazing. Thank you so much. Without going far much into your content, I would like us to start where you started, and maybe you tell us how you came from Kenya, how you end up being in Canada, how you decided you're going to Canada and not any other country out there. How did yourself know about Canada?
First of all, I didn't know about Canada. Nobody had ever told me about Canada, so I never had a desire to come to Canada. I only knew about US, and I used to desire to go to US. Mm-hmm. But then my spouse then was not interested into immigration. So that after I got married, that dream just vanished like that. And I stopped thinking of immigration. But then after some time, then someone, it's actually my brother, because the wife works at Nairobi Hospital. And in Nairobi Hospital, nurses are always immigrating. And being a nurse, she came and told me, Joyce, nurses are immigrating to Canada. And if you want to try, there's this agency. And then she gave me the name of the agency. And then she said, you can try. But I didn't know my husband would take it. Mm-hmm. So I told him, and then we went to the office. I used an agency called Wix. Mm-hmm. It's WWICS. It is in Westlands, Sarit Center, second floor. So I went to weeks. They're still there many years ago, but they're still there. So I came to Canada as a skilled immigrant. So I was able to come. I actually didn't end up being the main applicant, because what they do is that they look at who is more qualified in terms of education and skills and all that. So my husband happened to be more educated than me, and then he's the one that became the main applicant. Then we applied under him, and now we came as a family. And then the good thing about coming as a skilled immigrant is that when I was leaving Kenya, I came with a permanent resident from Kenya. So I myself, I don't know these things, how people struggle about getting papers. I came as a permanent resident, and it was a smooth settling for me. Yeah. So they're still there. Those guys are still there. So if anyone is interested in going to come to Canada, they can use, especially as a skilled immigrant. I'll explain what is a skilled immigrant. They can use them. On my channel, I have done a video on the agency that I used to come to Canada. You can also go and check, so that you can also find a way to, but you also have to be skilled for you to use them. Okay. However, there are other ways that people come to Canada, probably along the way we are going to explore. So that is how I came to Canada, and now we are here. Yeah, so we are here now.
Right now, how many years have you been in Canada now?
That's more than 9 years now. I think I'm going to my 10th year.
Wow.
But in all the years, I didn't stay in Canada in all the years. What happened is that when I came to Canada, and then, I came during summer. Then when it was the time for winter, I got so scared. And then I went back home. I was not able to cope with the snow, and I had small kids. So I went back to Kenya, and I lived in Kenya again for 2 years. Mm-hmm. The good thing when you have got a permanent resident in Canada, you have an advantage of switching between the two countries.
Yeah.
You're not tied into staying in one place. So I had an opportunity to go back to Kenya, and I was able to raise my small babies back home. Back home, it's very easy to raise kids.
Yeah, it's easy.
I stayed in Kenya for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Then after my kids were big enough, I came back, and now I'm here.
Wow. So you're telling us, even though you are married, you still had a chance to try and go as a skilled immigrant in Canada.
Yeah. I was considered to add his point to qualify. He also needed me. He also needed my education. My education added to his points, and my experience, and also my of course my area of training, which is nursing. Okay. It also contributed to his success.
Yeah,
because getting the permanent resident. Yeah.
Most people do think that the dream of going abroad, or the dream of exploring out there, gets shattered when they get married. They only think, this is for only young men and women who got no ties. But as in your case, you are married and you still decided, I'm gonna go ahead and explore my dream. And it happened that you are now in Canada, 9 years down the line, working as a nurse. It's such an amazing. Yeah. So, guys, you have heard, that is what we are talking about. There are people who've been asking me how they can go to different countries. Most of them have been asking about Australia, and now you have heard it's not only Australia. There are places like Canada. You can get yourself assessed. And Joyce is so it's not mean. She's even giving us the agency that she used for her to get assessed. So guys, what else do you want from us? What else can you tell?
Yeah, I give everything. I give everything. As long as I know it, I share it. I don't want to die with any information.
And apart from going as a skilled immigrant to Canada, or as a skilled on a skilled visa, which other visa can someone use to go to Canada?
Oh, there are so many. Mm-hmm. Canada has got over 80 programs for immigration. And they keep changing. Every day there's a new program. Most of them are pilots. A pilot means that this program, they're assessing it maybe for 5 years. And then after 5 years, once they realize that it is working, then they take it into being a permanent program.
Okay.
But Canada is a very big country to start with. I know Australia is bigger than Canada, right? Australia is a continent.
Canada is big.
Yeah?
In terms of call it the, like square meter per, I don't know the square meters in terms of land mass. I think Canada is quite big. Anyway, they
Canada
are.
is big. Canada is very big because one province in Canada is, especially where I live in Ontario, Ontario is bigger than Kenya.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
So if Kenya was brought into Ontario, it would fit inside.
Yeah.
And Canada has got a province like that, another one and another one, 13 of them.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So
Yeah.
we are talking of so many opportunities that I cannot finish, even if I brought the whole clan. There are so many opportunities. And
And
Canada has got a very big percentage of the aging group.
mhm,
So many people are retired. By the way, if you go to most of the organizations, they have got the people who have retired have been recalled to come back to work because they don't have enough people to work for them. You go to a reception and find that there's a very old woman there who had retired and then she was called back to work
mhm,
because they don't. Their young people don't want to work because remember here there's a lot of money, stipend money.
yeah.
So their kids they don't want to work. So
Mhm,
they have a shortage for workforce.
mhm.
So like in 2021, they intended to bring over 400,000 immigrants.
Whoa, whoa. With
We are
different.
now halfway the year and we have not met that.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that there, and with COVID, there are so many deaths, there are so many job loss. I mean, there's going to be more.
Mm-hmm.
2020, 2022, they needed more than that, and even 2023, they needed even more than that. So with COVID, I know that they have just done it's called what? They just did another assessment just to see with COVID
Mm-hmm.
impact how it's going to affect how it has affected the number that they need. So there are going to be changes, and definitely they are going to increase more people that they need to bring here. So here we are saying that there are so many opportunities here in Canada, only that you open your eyes and see.
Mm-hmm. So that means they are also trying to minimize the way they try to screen people so as they can get people more opportunities, or or reduce the screening process so they can get people to easily go to Canada.
No, not really. The standards remain the same. But what I have noticed is that now the provinces have started advertising for international jobs, something that was not happening before.
Yeah.
Before it was express entry, and that is what people know. But now provinces have realized this express entry is not able to give them enough people. So
Mhm.
now the provinces are advertising for jobs to international applicants.
Mhm.
Like if you go and watch my videos, I have done a video on a province called New Brunswick. They
Mhm.
advertise for truck drivers jobs.
Mhm.
And the recruitment is next month, September. I have
Oh,
done that video. Yes. It's
wow,
going,
wow.
it's going to be an online recruitment for truck drivers.
It's just gonna be an online one.
It's
So
going to be an online. The applications have already happened and the applications were closed. I did that video and they were closed. But
wow.
now those people that applied, they are going to be interviewed online in September. So there are also other jobs for caregivers, and they are also being advertised, internationally. So the provinces have now realized that, oh, we cannot have enough people through this express entry. We need to start now advertising for jobs. So they have got job banks within them
So
that they
people go
Mhm.
back. They don't need to I mean to apply for skills visas. They don't need to apply for student visas. They can directly go and work. You just going with a work.
What happens, first of all, let me divide this so that people can understand. Canada has got so many ways of coming, but let me try to because immigration for Canada is sometimes it looks so complicated that people get lost. I'm going to say that you can come to Canada as a visitor, you can come to Canada as an international student, you can come to Canada as a skilled immigrant, you can come to Canada as a non-skilled immigrant, you can also come to Canada and there's so many ways you can come. But I want to talk about this express entry that most people have been hearing about. So express entry is like a pool. It's like a pool whereby everybody, the whole world, everybody applies on that pool. But inside that pool, there are three classifications. The first one is for the skilled immigrant. A skilled immigrant is somebody who has got skills and they also have got education, at least a degree and above. The next classification is for skilled trades. Skilled trades is somebody who doesn't have education after Form 4, but they have got skills for driving a trailer. They have got skills for doing massage therapy. They have got skills for taking care of the elderly. Those skills. They have got skills of a plumber, electrician. Those are trades. And then the other one, it is now for the international students who come to study in Canada, and they are absorbed. There are programs to absorb those international students. We know that in most countries, like in the US, I always talk about the US because it is our neighbor here. When you go to US as an international student, unless you go to US under a program like the one I know, there's a guy called Bob Muti. By the way, real life, I'm going to introduce him to you.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Bob Muti in the US, and he has a program that helps people after they graduate, they can find work. I'm going to introduce him to you, then you can also bring him here and interview him. And he's doing a good job. Other than that, international students go to the US, and after they graduate, they cannot find anything to make them stay.
Yeah, that's true.
So you find that somebody has been hiding in the US. Somebody has always been a student for 20 years. So they keep renewing the student permit because there are no programs to absorb those international students. Whereas in Canada depends mainly on the international student. First of all, for the economy, because of course international students pay three times more than a local student. The other thing, for workforce. So it makes sure that if you come to study in Canada, it's very, okay, fine. They always say that you are going to go back to your home country, but in rare cases, will you go back home? Because they have introduced programs that are going to accept or to absorb you into becoming a permanent resident.
Wow.
So now in this express entry, they assess you according to points. They look at your age. If you're between 21 years to 45 years, you get full points. If you're below 21 years, and if you're above 45 years, you get lesser points. You still apply, but you're going to get less points. They also look at your education. The higher your education, the more you're educated, the better, the more points. They also look at your marital status. If you're married, you get more points because your spouse is going to do English test, and your spouse is going to bring the education, like the way I did now towards my husband, and he got my points. The other point they look at is your English proficiency. You need to go and do an English test, and then it is called IELTS. I have done videos on how you can do IELTS. So all these points, they are 6 points. They put them together, and you're supposed to acquire a possible 470 points. But now you find that most people are not able to acquire the 470 points. And now this is what I was telling you, that the provinces have realized that most people are not able to get the 470 points. So what they are doing in the provinces, they are advertising for jobs. So that you apply for that job, you get the job offer. Once you get a job offer, then you get nominated by the province. When a province nominates you, it gives you a whole 600 points towards your express entry.
Wow.
Then the express entry now becomes easier for you through the provinces. So I'm telling you, if you go, because some people go and assess themselves on the express entry, and then they are told that you don't meet, and then you give up. You don't give up on that point. You don't give up at that point. You go now to the provinces and start looking for a job. And every province has got a website, and inside those websites, there are job offers. There are job banks. Inside those job banks, apply for jobs. Not one, not two, not three, not apply even 100 jobs. There are people that I have seen, they have applied even more than 100 jobs before you find a job, because it's very competitive. Every person in the world wants to come to Canada. Canada is a beautiful, peaceful country. Not everybody wants to come.
Yeah, and I saw
competitive.
Recently, I saw their PM saying they are so generous that they have opened their head to the world. Like when the other countries are saying we are not taking immigrants, Canada are saying come.
They need people. Let me tell you, I'm not lying to you. They, like where I live, you know me, I live in the village.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the village of Ontario. And where I live, the population is so scarce, is so scarce. I have done a video showing guys the city of where I live. Can you imagine? I did a video for like 45 minutes, and there was nobody on the streets. And guys were asking me, Joyce, where are your people? I tell them there are no people here. You guys come, because I did a video. I went around the downtown, and that is downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and there are no people.
And the other thing I realize is that when you get yourself in place like Canada and you decide you are going to live in a place like that, you also get yourself some more points because the government can see, oh, you want to grow the rural
Yeah,
areas. You
yeah.
want rural areas now come live, become live.
The rural areas, there are so many advantages. For me, I didn't come to, when you come through express entry, you can live in any part of Canada. Like for me, I was not restricted to live in the rural. But when you apply, okay, I wanted to finish this. If you don't qualify for the provincial nominations, there is also something else called community. Canada has got 11 communities that are participating in these programs for bringing immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
So small communities like where I live, like in Ontario, has got 5 small communities.
Mm-hmm.
And these communities, they have got minings, they have got so many jobs. So in the communities, small communities, they also have job offers. So go to those small communities and apply for those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I can give you an example of a place called a community called Timmins.
Mm-hmm.
Timmins has got a job bank that they're posting jobs every day. And the good thing to apply under these ones is because they're managed, the job sites are managed by the community. So it is very rare to find a scammer. But you guys, when you go to apply in other sites, you're going to find scammers. Scammers are taking advantage of Canada immigration, and they're stealing from people. The information that I give you is for free. Me, I'm not charging anything. I'm not an agent.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't charge anything. Do you know, even I refuse to put, I qualify on my channel, I qualify to put the thing that they call the membership, join.
Mm-hmm.
But I refuse to put it because I want to give free information. And when I put that join, I can mislead somebody and they may think I want to earn any money. I don't want to earn anything. My information is for free. If YouTube pays me, well and good. But my initial desire is to give free information so that people are not conned. People are conned so much for Canada.
On that part of information, I'll give just a small bit of how I felt when I finished my high school, when I did my high school. In my video, I didn't get a chance. We didn't have that person that I could look onto and ask them, how can I go abroad? Though I had that desire that I want to go abroad, I want to scale myself to place like US. My mind was in US. I didn't have anything else.
Me too. Me too.
So I didn't have even a person I can ask, oh, how can I go to US? And those that I approached, they were so mean. They'll tell you
Yeah.
just a green card. I don't even how the green card are being applied. So I had a very hard time to an extent that I felt like I'm gonna give up until this chance of coming to Australia. When it came up, that's when I grabbed this one. So a lot of people out there, they are not doing it. They are not exploring just because they don't have enough information. And what we are doing in this channel is to make sure you have information before you approach that, before you go to website, before you start or you take that step, you have sufficient information so you can be able to explore and to gauge whatever I'm being told. Is it like whatever that was explained in certain video, whatever I'm being directed into? Is it something that I can rely on? Is it something that is legit? Is it something that is genuine? Things like that. That's what we are trying to tell people. And I'm so glad that you are here. And I'm so glad that when I was watching on your channel, that is exactly the information that even personally I'm so much looking for. Because in a country like this, in Australia, like I told you, I'm a student. And being a student in Australia, sometimes people do tarmac a lot to an extent of you stay your first year, second year, third year, and even after pursuing your bachelor's degree, you still have to go through a lot to endure a lot before you get those papers. So it is easy for someone who got information or the right information. They can refer and think, oh, if it's becoming too hard for me here, and maybe I got a job offer in place like Canada, I can try myself out there because these countries are almost more the same or more or less the same. So I'm glad that you're giving such information, and it's so good and it's so worthy. That's gonna help someone to broaden their minds and to open their eyes and see what the world is offering for them. So thank you so much, Joyce, for that. The other thing is that how do you compare things like lifestyle, how you living in Canada compared to a place like Kenya, where you come from? How you used to live, the quality of life that you are living compared to the quality of life that you live there. The standard of living, raising up your children in Canada. Job ethics. Things like that, or the culture, things like to do with the culture. How do you compare those two countries?
First of all, I was raised up in the village back home.
Village guy.
As you said, we didn't know much.
Mhm.
Actually, even for the only time I applied for green card, I went to a cyber, because those days there were no phones. So I went to a cyber, and you don't even know what this guy is doing. But guys, you guys are so lucky that you're in a, you're in a world that you have your phone. You can do so much with your phone. The only way I know, if not green card, the other way I knew I would go to the US, it is through a friend of mine that we schooled together in primary school. And I had so much hope, because she was my best friend and she had come to the US. She was invited by her older brother. So I looked up to her and I always used to admire her. I used to say, I'm waiting for her to invite me. I'm waiting for her to invite me, because that is the only thing I knew how to come, is somebody to invite you. But guys, I'm here to tell you that you don't need anybody to invite you to go to whichever country you want to go. The information is on YouTube. Guys, stop wasting your data on Facebook doing things that are not helpful. Look for information on YouTube, so that you don't limit yourself. So that, because some programs, some programs, like, for, I know you're going to host, guys, you need to stick on this channel, because Sam is going to host another lady who is doing immigration for Germany. And for Germany, you need to go there for au pair when you're between 19 years and 28 years. I have done a video with her. And so many people, by the way, there are so many girls who are already going through her. So we are saying that you don't waste so much time on Facebook. It's okay, but also spend so much time listening to people like us, because all the time we are coming with programs that can help you, so that when our people finish Form 4, we are saying that anybody that has finished Form 4, go to Germany. Go to Germany and work for 1 year. After this 1 year, you're going to go to school there. You're going to, let me tell you, it makes a whole difference for you to leave Kenya to go to Germany, whichever program. Me, I always say, even if you come to Canada, find yourself, wake up one day, find yourself in Canada. It doesn't matter which way you used to come to Canada, whether you came by air or by road or walking, find
Whichever.
yourself here. Things are never going to be the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
Things are
Unless you.
never going to be the same. It can never be the same, let me tell you. So you told me to compare my life back home and here. Let me tell you, it is like heaven and earth. And initially, I almost got confused, because for me back home, before I came here, I was doing very well. And I'm saying this so that I want to encourage somebody who is doing very well back home and they think that immigration is not for them. Personally, I was doing very well. I was working at Aga Khan Hospital. My husband was working a very good job. So somebody may have thought, why are these guys going for immigration? Immigration is for people who are desperate. But let me tell you, don't only look for now. Don't be too selfish to just look at yourself and forget that you have a generation. A generation that maybe you don't even know what is going to happen to them. Let me tell you, anything in Africa can happen anytime.
Yeah.
With politics and all that we have had every other 5 years, anything can happen. And when you have an opportunity to come to one of these countries and become a citizen, you can always go back home. I'm a Kenyan by blood. I even talk like a Kenyan. I have not become a Canadian by talking. I'm only a Canadian by papers. But if I want to go back home, I can go back home whenever I want. I have a home in Thome, in Kenya. So I can go back home anytime I want. I go for vacation. So coming to Canada, you're coming because you want to have a future for your children, and not only for your children, for the generations to come. Because let me tell you, Sam, a child who is raised in Canada or Australia, there's always going to be a difference. Let us not ignore this. There's always going to be a difference between this child and someone who was raised back home. Their reasoning is different.
That's true.
And then these kids have got, they're not so, like now, I realize like back home, kids this year, they are going to read the whole year. There's no break.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are pumped. We are told, read. But this education, some of the things, I did agriculture in high school. I don't know what to do with it. I'm a nurse now. Agriculture, where will I take this agriculture?
Yeah, that's true.
You see, but when we expose our kids into these things, don't come to Canada for money. Don't look into coming to Canada to build an apartment. You may not get that, by the way. I cannot promise that you're going to come to Canada and build an apartment. Mm-hmm. But come to Canada so that you can have a better life for yourself and for your generations. Because there's, of course, even thinking changes. When you come here, as I was talking to you, you were talking to me before we started the video. Your thinking changes. You start seeing things different.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm saying I'm not excited because I left Kenya and I came here. But for me, it is because at least even now I can touch a life and I'm able, if I was in Kenya right now, I would not go on YouTube. I would not have that confidence to come and tell people about immigration. But now because I'm here and I have experienced the difference, I have the confidence to give a testimony that there's a difference. There's a difference, let me tell you, for me and also for other people that I see around.
Wow.
So coming here, it is worth it.
Wow. Such a good explanation, because I also remember the reason, one of the reasons why I had this big decision or dream to go abroad is because I was looking in my family. I'm the last born in my family. Mm-hmm. And being the last born, it means others are grown-ups and they are, into their own things. Mm-hmm. But our generation, we have those people who call me uncle.
Yeah, I know, me too.
They're looking at me and they are like, we need to see someone. I don't want them to finish their high school and just go to Juakari, just, join local shops and, local things.
Yeah.
I want to scale their mind. I want to help them to be able to, to scale their mind and to scale their education as well. So being in a country like this, I'll be able to pull them. I'll be able to bring them.
And even your platform, on your YouTube channel, you're also helping others who are not even related to you.
Exactly. So I think you're saying people deciding to go abroad or to relocate, it's not, sometimes it's not just for them, for their sake. Sometimes they're doing okay there and the money and their life they are living is still okay, but sometimes they decide because of the people who are looking unto them, who are who they are taking care of. That's why they do decide to relocate and go to a different country. So there is also another thing that I do talk about in this channel. Like you can see, it's real life abroad. I mean, it's everything. We put it on the table and discuss, say, this is what it is. So, I don't know if you have experienced this one for the years that you lived in Canada, but for me, for the short period of time that I've lived in Australia, and from the experience of other people that I've seen, watched their stories, people do trust, sometimes they do trust their people back at home, and sometimes they do things like investment, sometimes they are not even investment, sometimes they are just sending some sort of support. But sometimes you are trying to explain yourself to them. Sometimes you don't have money, or sometimes you are not able to meet their needs. Sometimes you cannot engage yourself in anything to do with charity things. Sometimes you do an investment and at the end of the day you don't get it in your hands, or it's not up to the expectation that you are looking for. How do you deal with such things? Family members, friends, and relatives. How do you deal with that?
For me, I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah, I don't. And what I give, it is what I feel I want to give at that particular time. And I help a lot. And by the way, for me, surprisingly, I don't only help my relatives, because sometimes relatives don't appreciate. Mm-hmm. So me, I go outside the relatives and help someone who is not even related to me. I do that a lot. So let me tell you, it depends, because some people are going to say that and here there are so many bills. Mm-hmm. There are so many bills. Someone like you, I know, being a student, you only have 20 hours to work in a week. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you're not able to meet all those standards. But for me, it is not even the money I give. But the platform I have right now on YouTube to give people information, me, when I share that information and I don't give you money, I feel I have done my job. If I have to give money, I give. But my main goal now is to help that person who does not have any knowledge on how. You know, some people don't even know there's a country called Canada. Me, I didn't know. I used
Yeah.
to read it in geography, but let me tell you, I only knew when I tried to imagine what is Canada, I used to think, Canada is a place like where Eskimos live, because people used to say it's cold.
Yeah.
I never used to know, but now when I come and I take videos around here and I show people this is Canada, now people start opening their minds. So it's not only about money, and we give money once in a while when we have it, but that is not the main thing. The main thing is that people need to know that we are full of information, and people can follow us, and we can share what we have, and we will see how it goes.
Wow. Yeah, I had that was one of the major issue or major things that most people who are living abroad do go through when their family members get not to understand them, or maybe the relatives or people who are around them. And sometimes it do push them to, you know, to developing things like depression and mental health, which is very, very bad when you are in a place like this, because maybe at the end of the day you are the only person from your family, maybe you are the maybe two or three people from your family, so you find that it's very, very hard for you to deal with mental things and depression while you are in abroad, because
Let me tell you, Sam, you can only do enough. Don't stress yourself with whether you. By the way, you will never make people 100% happy. Even now, what on this video, you can find somebody disliking it. You can find somebody disliking it. So people are depressed, and people are very bitter with life. So somebody is just going to come from nowhere and say Sam is a bad person, he doesn't send money. You're going to have such people. So me, I try not to listen to what they say. I don't care what they say. Me, I do my thing, and as long as I know in my heart I'm doing the right thing, then my conscience is okay, and we move on.
wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's good, because it has happened to many of our people here, and sometimes I look at them and I say, God, I don't want to be part of this, and I'm gonna use my channel to create awareness in terms of mental health issues and mental health awareness, because I don't want people to fall into that. If you have to say the truth, if you have to, you know, to be assertive, you know, when you're communicating, just be assertive and tell people this is what it is. If they are going to like you for who you are, then that's okay. If they are going to dislike you because you're standing up for yourself or you're standing up for your family, up to them, because you can't make everyone happy.
Yeah, you can't. Mhm.
Yeah, so that is it. And I don't know if there is anything that we should add in this conversation, because I feel like we have exploited everything that I had in mind. And all I was looking for is for you to explain to us, you know, because a lot of things are happening in your channel. And guys, if you have not checked it out, Joyce K Nurse Canada, make sure you check it out, because this is just we have just touched. We have just touched. There is a lot of information lying in her channel. Just go and check it out, and you see a lot of things that is happening there. And maybe if one video doesn't suit you, check it out the next one, and the next one you see the one that suits you, and maybe, you know, favors you in terms of application to go to another countries. Just the other day I had you or I saw your video. You're talking about people migrating from UAE. They are Kenyans, or they are, you know, the Africans, but they are living in UAE. And you told them it's possible for you to migrate. You don't have to go back to your country
Yeah,
for you.
there's a program from Dubai and Qatar. People who are living in Dubai and Qatar, they can come to Canada. There's a program for that. And let me tell you, once you leave Kenya or once you leave whichever country and you try to expound yourself, there's always going to be easier for you to come to Canada. Guys, I didn't mention that you can come to Canada as a visitor. And Canada is one of the countries that accept asylum seekers and refugees. Canada is the easiest. I don't know if some you know that. It is easier than Australia. It is easier than the US to get papers. In 1 year, you have your papers as a refugee, or the longest you can wait is 2 years.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yes, yeah, they don't wait for too long. They finish your case very fast.
And
If they're giving you, they give you. And the good thing about Canada is that when you come and apply for refugee, they allow you to work. And they also allow you to go to school, so you can take advantage and go to school for a course of 6 months when you're a refugee. When you go for that course for 6 months, you start working. By the time your case is finishing, you are already having your Canada work experience. And then you can use this work experience to apply for PR. And now you drop the refugee thing. That is
Wow.
what people do. That's what people do. So you
That's
can come as a visitor. You can also come as a visitor and change this visitor's visa to a work permit. Before, they used to say that you have to go back home. But nowadays, because of COVID, you can come to Canada as a visitor. And then when you're here, you look for a job. Once you get a job offer, you go online, apply for a work permit. They're going to give you a work permit. When you work here for 1 year, just 1 year, Canada experience, you qualify to apply for permanent resident. The
wow.
immigration system for Canada is the easiest in the world, and it's the best, well arranged.
Wow, 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 wow. So, guys, you have heard that. If you're planning Canada, there are so many ways you can get yourself out there. It's not only Australia, it's not only US, it's not only African country you can go. There are countries out there waiting for you. I know so many people have been asking me about Australia. Now you have heard it's not only Australia. And maybe if it's getting hard for you to come to Australia, try Canada. This country, they are almost all the same. So whatever you're coming to find here is the same what you're gonna find in Canada. So that is it, and I'm so happy. What would you like to tell us, Joyce, before we end this broadcast or before we finish our video? You've been so informative, and we are so glad that you're giving us this information.
Yeah.
What
I
would
just
you like?
want to tell people that my heart is open for them.
Yeah,
And if me, Sam, even before I started my YouTube, I used to go for people from the airport.
yeah.
I used to look for houses for people, immigrants, when they come to Canada. I used to pick people from the airport and show them the way to the shelters. I have done so much. Even people don't know that. But
Wow.
the passion for me to start this is because I had done so much of that, and now I wanted it to do in a bigger way. It's just because COVID came and I have slowed a bit. But before then, I was doing so much. So mine is to say that I'm here to support you in case you find yourself in Canada, either through the information that I give on my channel. Feel free to reach out to me. Once you're in Canada, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. There's a way. Even people who are watching me, if you are stuck in Australia and you're not able to get your papers, come to Canada. If you're US and you're stuck, you don't have your papers, cross on the border is just here. I see a lot of Nigerians crossing the border between the US and Canada. Come. Canada is not my father's, it's not my mother's. So, I mean, it is open to the world. So if other nations are coming, why not you?
Yeah, that's true. Everyone, I mean, the country is open for everyone.
It's
So
open for anyone, yeah.
yeah, and just to finish, we think of something else because people have I've just thought of there is something that touches people a lot when it comes to being in other people's country. Something called racism. Is there anything to worry about things like
No.
racism? Yeah.
Not in Canada, my friends. Have you had any news of racism in Canada?
I've had anything from Canada when
Myself,
it comes.
for the longest time I have been here, I have not experienced. My kids, the schools where they go, I keep asking them. Actually, today we had a discussion and they told me, Mommy, we don't want to go back to Kenya. We can only be going for vacation. We want to stay in Canada and we don't want to move out of the village where we are living. So when you listen to your kids talk like that, then you notice that they are not being harassed out there by the other kids. My compound is always full of white kids coming to play with my kids. And for the parents to allow them to come and play with my kids, it means they are comfortable. So Canada is a country for immigrants. Everybody in Canada came from somewhere. So you are going to find that somebody does not even make a sentence in English in Canada. So there's no racism. I have not found racism myself.
Wow, wow. So if someone is here and thinking my English is not does not qualify me to be in Canada, there are people who can
Oh, let
sentence.
them come, and then they're going to go to school for adults, and they're
Yeah.
going to learn how to speak English.
Wow, wow, wow. Such a
Mm,
good
yeah.
choice. And so much humbled that you are, that you agreed to come and, I mean, to represent 254, to represent Canada, to represent, from the other side of the world. Because what people gotta understand is that with technology, I'm shooting this video or in my room where I am now. It's around 2 p.m. What is the time from your end?
It's midnight. It's
Wow,
midnight.
wow. So guys, you can see,
Midnight on Saturday.
and here it's around 2 p.m. on Saturday. So I mean on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys are ahead of us. Yeah.
And imagine, so that is what the technology is doing. And if we can network, we can have that good network. Me and Joyce all the way from Canada and from Australia. Why not you? Why should you? I mean, why shouldn't you just go to your Google, use website, anything, use YouTube, get information that you need to get yourself out there. Stop asking people, oh, how can I do? How can I do? How can I? Just go to your YouTube, just go to Google, just listen to this type of information that you are giving. And if there is any clarification that you'd like, put it in the comment section and we will always get back to you, even if it's not the time that you want, but when it's convenient for us, we will always come back to you and give you further information. Thank you so much, Joyce, for tuning in to this channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of us and for being part of Real Life Abroad. This channel is really growing. Joyce, would you tell someone to come and subscribe to this channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much. Thank you so much.
So as we wind up, just wave your hands and say goodbye.
Bye bye, guys. Thank you.
Yes, until next time, we love you so much.
Bye bye. Thank you.